Hey everyone, J Hood Creative here. I figured I'd just do an impromptu kind of live show. Sometimes life, we get busy, right? And we take the time to do what we need to do when it needs to be done. And in the spare time, we get to do what we want to do, right? So I found a little section of some spare time, figured I'd hop on live. If anyone happens to be watching, great. If not, this will just be a recorded video. So I've been busy. I've been working on a new project. I'll show the progress of it. So the background's pretty much done. I'm starting to work in earnest on the ship itself. That's the exciting part, is working on the ship. The background, it takes more time than you want it to, but you always want to make sure you're paying enough attention to it. But so today, as soon as I'm done with this, I get to jump in and start painting in earnest on the ship. But hey, Comics for All people, thanks for stopping in. Yeah. So I've got a haul. The last 2 weekends, I've taken a little time away from my project. Last weekend, I went to a small dealer show, and the weekend before that, my LCS had their big anniversary sale. So I stopped in there. Basically, their deal is for their anniversary sale. They've got several things. Trades are on sale, pops are on sale, but of course, I'm all about the comics. So the deal was, it's their 23rd anniversary. So you get 23 back issues that are priced at cover price, 23 back issues for $23. And they have to be any back issue older than 6 months. So this is one of the things I keep in mind when I see a book on the shelf that I'm interested in. I pick it as I'm shopping for my other stuff. I scan the shelves, see what looks interesting. And it's stuff that I'm like, I'm not a super fan of that, but that looks pretty good. Or maybe I'll even pick up an issue, like a first issue or something like that. Then I'll come back and I'll think, okay, they're going to have a sale. My LCS does a good job of ordering a lot of books. Chances are 6 months or a year later, when they have their sale, they have sales probably 3 times a year. They'll have a Black Friday sale coming up. Free Comic Book Day always has a big sale going on. So I figure I'll wait on some books and pick them up when they have their next sale. So as I go, though, I want to make sure I'm taking care of my pull. My pull list isn't that big. I think I've got like 8 titles. So I took about half the books out of my pull and then spent $23 on my 23 comics. So this is what I got. So this was 2 weeks ago. So these aren't like super new off the shelf comics. So I got the X-Men #1. I wasn't planning on buying this, but I heard so many good remarks about it. Got Marauders #1. Something is Killing the Children #2. And the new issue of the Batman and White Knight. So of all of those 3, I've been so busy, I've only read the X-Men issue. I've heard some spoilers about some of the others, but I hope to get to them soon. So for the sale books, I noticed quite a while ago that when I looked at the shelves and saw issues of Aquaman with these Stepan Sejic covers, and the fact that he does the interior artwork as well, I really took note, but I'm not an Aquaman fan by any means. So just took a mental note. It'd be cool to pick up these Aquaman sometime. So there's issue 27. Let's see, when was this published originally? I don't have my glasses on. October 2017. So this is actually a couple years old then. So, but going back, so we've got 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I think this was originally the cover that really caught my eye, that I was like, wow, I might have to go back and get that sometime. So this is Aquaman 32. The one thing I noticed, so I picked it up and started flipping through it, and the cover was a CGIC cover, but the artist inside is Riccardo Federici, which is not the same style as what's the other guy's name? What did I say it was? Rivet or CGIC. So it's more of a pencil-y, colored pencil-y style, but the draftsmanship in it is really strong. So I thought it was pretty cool too. I think I might actually like this art a little bit better. So I want to make sure I kept going. So I got the 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38. So, I mean, as I was looking through the books, I was trying to figure out, okay, I know I'm not going to get, everything up to the present day, and I was actually pretty much just interested in the artist's work of these two guys. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of ended on on the end of a run, a storyline, and I hope I did with this issue 38. They're going to have the other issues there if I find I need them. They'll just be at cover price until they have their next sale. And for most of these, in one or two cases, I got the last issue on the shelf. Hey, Comics with Bueller, thanks for stopping by. I'm just running through a haul from a sale at my LCS 2 weeks ago, where the deal was 23 books for 23 bucks. I know you're a fan of that kind of deal. So I picked up a run of Aquaman. See, 11 issues of Aquaman. Okay, so the next couple titles, I have a passing interest in this character. I like it when the work is done really well, when it's really well drawn. Savage Sword of Conan, and this is the interiors are drawn by Ron Garney, who I love. He's one of my favorite artists, but he does a run, then he'll take a break. And of course, the awesome Alex Ross art on the cover. So I got issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, issue 4, and issue 5. So not bad. 5 books, Alex Ross covers, Ron Garney art, $5, killer deal. So I was also interested in this run. I am not as big a fan of this artist, but I mean, I like him, but I don't think he really suits Conan. But the Mohammed Asrar, Mohammed Asrar. He's a good artist. I do like him, but I didn't think he was really suited to Conan. But I love these covers, and figured why not give it a shot. It's written by Jason Aaron, so chances are I'll like the story. So I got issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and this is I think the first variant like this that I've ever had to buy. Not a real fan of this idea of putting other characters on a title. But they didn't have any other regular covers, and I can kind of see why. Issue 4. So this next title was a case where I had picked up the first issue way back when, kind of intended to put it on my pull list, then forgot. And kind of when I get in that spot after a couple months go by, I'm like, oh, let's wait for the sale. So Savage Avengers #2, #3, and #4. And I had #5 in my stack and would have got it, but it was too new. Only issues older than 6 months were eligible for the sale. So put that one back. I think I picked up one of the Conans that I hadn't picked up. So yeah, great deal. My LCS, I'm lucky enough to have a good one. They give a nice discount to regular customers. They do their own store variants. They do a nice, last year they gave secret variants, gave them to pull list customers. Yeah, so Buy Me Toys is the name of the store. So look them up. So like I said, that sale was, just reading Wheeler's comment there about the Spider-Man book. Right, yeah, it is a cool cover for a Spider-Man book, but not for Conan. So that sale was 2 weeks ago. So last weekend, I was in a bit of a quandary because I don't spend a lot regularly. So, but I'm trying to save for a big key. So this always happens. We get the Buy Me Toys sale on this, their big anniversary sale. Then the next week, this kind of traveling show comes to town. It's a small dealer show. And so I had to decide, okay, am I going to do one or the other? Or am I going to do both? And if I do both, I'm going to have to dip into my key fund. So I went ahead and dipped into it a little bit. Hi, Geeks, Drinks, and Comics. Hey, Biggie Shack. Good to see you. So, so I went to the show. So this dealer show is, if you're in the Midwest, look up, I think it's Midwest Comic Book Show. And it's run by one guy, and his deal is he brings in kind of 2 rows of long boxes. He fills 2, maybe 3 8-foot tables back to back with long boxes. And the deal is $50 or 50 comics for $20. So do the math, 40 cents a comic. It's an excellent deal. Bueller, if you're still here, it's the kind of deal you're looking for all the time, I'm sure. So it's him, and he brings in kind of local dealers. The one bad timing thing about this show was that, Cat, I feel like JP now. So there's another show within an hour's worth of driving distance that was a bigger show. It wasn't a huge, it's the Grand Rapids Comic Con. So it's a bigger show. They would have had more. So anybody in the area that could get away for a day would have gone up to that rather than go to this show, where it's just in a little hotel conference room. I think I counted 10 dealers. 2 dealers had really nice stuff. One dealer had really, really nice stuff, and his prices were priced accordingly. Another dealer had nice stuff, and his prices were reasonable. So I kind of concentrate on that guy. Basically, I work the room. I go around the room, see what there is, figure out, okay, which dealer am I going to target? Which one had the books that I'm going to spend my money on today? And if there's no one in the room that I want to spend the money on, and I have the time to flip through all these long boxes, I'll find 50 comics for $20. So let's see here. So the one dealer that had kind of the nice stuff at reasonable prices, it was reasonable, not great. He had a New Gods #1, which I'm interested in. I had a book that I brought with me that I was willing to put up for trade for part of it, and he wasn't interested in trading. So I just kind of flipped through and chose the one or two books that I wanted. So one that he had was this one. This is Strange Adventures number 222. And this is just totally a cover buy for me. As an artist, there some covers just I look at them and I'm like, from the design standpoint, that's a really well designed cover. In this case, if we look at it from the design standpoint, you've got the diagonal of Adam Strange's armor on the going the same direction as the vanishing line, horizon line in the background, and then you got a perfect intersection with his other arm and the villain. Then the fact that the logo arches over it, just from a design standpoint, the cover is, to me, it was just really cool. I'd been looking at it on eBay. I didn't want to pay a lot of money, so when I found one at this show in reasonable condition, it's nice. It's not perfect, but I just wanted it for a cover, so I just didn't want a real crunchy copy. So yeah, so put a package deal together for this one, and this is probably the biggest key I got for the day. Well, I guess it is a key. Is X-Men 56, which is the first Neil Adams work on the X-Men. So this was an upgrade copy to this one. This copy, Jamie Hood grade, it's beat. It's real beat. It's got color breaks. It's got a lot of color loss on the side. So I want to upgrade to this one. I'll take it out of the bag real quick. It does have a spine roll, but the edges are pretty nice. See if I can get a little glare on it. You'll see how flat it is. It's got a little nick at the top on the right there. Hey, Comic Head. So yeah, that's kind of the worst of it. So yeah, there you can see how bad the spine roll is. So I figured it was nice enough I'd get it pressed. So combined deal, this book and this book, got them for $40. Looking back, I think I overpaid a little, not a lot, especially since this one's going to need the clean and a press. So when I go to this dealer show where there's basically 10 dealers and I'm kind of letting the show come to me, and I need to go in and kind of see what the inventory is and target which things I want. I only went into this show with $60. So like I said, I circle the room, kind of see what my targets are. So I knew this dealer, he had other nice Silver Age books, some Thors I was interested in. Like I said, the show was in South Bend, Indiana, but this guy tours the whole area. He did our show on Saturday. He went to a different town on Sunday, like way far away. Like it would have been in driving distance, but so he does that every weekend. He goes all over the Midwest, up into, I think he goes to Illinois, Wisconsin, down into Missouri. I think he's from the Missouri area. Does other shows here in Indiana. So anyway, one of the other dealers I saw had some nice Moon Knight books, and I liked Moon Knight as a kid, but I let most of my Moon Knight comics go, but I've been more intrigued by him recently. And I knew there are a few of these comics they get valuable because if they're in nice condition, because they have red and black covers. So I picked up this 24. So I bought these from the standpoint of spec more than interest. But then once I opened them up and looked at them again and saw the Sienkiewicz art in them, I got the bug again. So I'm going to put them on my hunting list. And this one I thought it was going to be more valuable than I thought it was when slabbed. So I probably won't ever consider slabbing this one, but this one, I bought it for spec, and I'll probably try to get it slabbed and see if I get lucky. I'm not sure if I'll get a 9.8 out of it or not. But there's this one, and I think it's issue 25 that has another black cover that are really valuable and high grade. So this one has no spine ticks at all. It's got just a touch of something down here. Corners they're bending back, but they're sharp as far as the outside corners go. And there's basically nothing else wrong with this book. So I got these two for $10. So do the math. I spent $50 at this point, so I've got another $10 to spend. And these were the only books that I saw that I kind of knew what I wanted. And I get pressed for time, so I was like, okay. And I have a hard time leaving a show with money in my pocket, so it's kind of run around. Okay, what am I going to spend my last $10 on? True that, Biggie, about those Moon Knight books. So I just happened to be flipping through the guy that's got the 50 for 20 deal. He's also got trades and hardcovers, and his deal on those are all trades are $5. If it's a hardcover, it's twice the price. So he's an odd guy, $10 for a hardcover. So I just happened to be just glancing through real quick just to see what he had, and I came up with this. This is a book that has been on my list for a long time, and it's only on my list because it's one of those things where you can't really find it. You might be able to find it on eBay, but it's hard to come across. No dealers usually would have it. This guy buys, I'm sure, old store inventory and stuff like that to get his inventory. So obviously still wrapped. The corners are kind of dinged, but check this out. See if you can see what the sticker says. Limited edition of 500. Original price is $50. Signed and numbered with an exclusive print inside. I've got this in the same book in a floppy, so I haven't taken the time to unwrap it yet. I will. I'm not going to keep it wrapped, but figured for the video I'd save it. So yeah, if you're not familiar with this book or this artist, I believe his first name is Jose Ladron. I want to say he's Spanish probably, but the work in it is like, the basis of his work is very Kirby. And then if you're familiar with Mobius, the French artist Mobius, it's as if Kirby drew all the layouts, the initial art, and then Mobius came in and finished it. That's kind of what Ladron, what his art is like. Actually, I've got a couple other books right here. So this isn't the first. They call this an album format. It's based on a French format, but that was Unnatural Selection. So this is the floppy copy of that same story. But look at, you can just see the art in that. It's just nuts. So I've got the art of the Elephant Men, which is all Ladron's kind of initial stuff. Well, there, that image, that one image, he even shows his whole process. Basically, the story is like, so yeah, it's animals have been changed into humans, and they're kind of test tube bred, but then it's set in the world is pretty much like Blade Runner. So check this out. So the art is like, it's super detailed, super moody. So this is just an art book. And then another story they did is called The Concrete Jungle. Again, I believe all of these appeared first in print or in floppies, and then they did these big, oversized hardcover versions of everything. So basically, if you're into like a Blade Runner kind of feel, I mean, they've even got the flying cars and everything. If you're into that kind of story, I definitely suggest Hip Flask. Find the back issues. It's basically a kind of a noir mystery set in a Blade Runner universe with animals as the characters. They did one special issue was drawn by Rick, and this came from Elephant Men, which is related to Hip Flask. That Chris Bachalo drew this, and so they did it in a regular issue, and then they published it as a big album like this. Let me see if I can find a good page. The coloring's kind of dark, so it's kind of tough to see. But it's kind of like an imaginary tale set in that world. So yeah, long story to kind of work back to this thing. So I'm interested to see what the other back matter is in this one. It's not a super thick book. The regular issue was probably 48 pages, it looks like. And that's probably 48 thick pages in this, so there might not be a whole lot. I might look into it before I unwrap it, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's it for my hauls. See what we got coming this week. This week we're going to do our breakdown on this issue on Tuesday night. So we'll do the issue at hand, and we'll tear this thing up from front to back. It's I'm not going to get started. I'm not that chatty of a guy in person, but you get me talking about this issue, and I'm like a big blabbermouth. So yeah, that's what I got. So Tuesday 9:30, my channel, 9:30 Eastern. If you came late, I'll show you the piece of art I've been working on so far. So pretty much the background's done. I'm getting ready today to start on the ship. So as soon as I get off of this, I'm going to start painting, and I'll be in my drawing board pretty much, hopefully, in my entire waking day today, working on that. I really got to get it knocked out. So yeah, so I wanted to do this haul. I meant to do it last weekend, and it just didn't work out. So I didn't want to put it off, and just had a few minutes. Figured I'd go live, show it off. Hey, big lion cat. So yeah, thank you guys that were here for the live show, and everyone else that watches it later on. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time.